Yeah. Strange. Can you see it being cut off for some reason?
Yeah.
I don't know why. Well, just to let everybody know, the secret is at the bottom. So no one's going to know it.
But we'll try and reveal it by the end, hopefully. So.
Well, we'll try, but yeah.
And that's a good shout. Thank you, Dean. Can you hide your toolbar? Dean, we need a Windows for Dummies, how to hide the toolbar, please.
Let me Google it. Do you know what I'm going to do? No, because what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to hide the toolbar and then never find it again after this webinar.
That's a good point. I don't think there's much. I don't think there's much on the bottom, although some people can see the slides on the left as well.
All right, let's see how the next slides are, and if it's a problem, then I'll do that. Just out of interest, actually, just before we get going, if you could let us know, actually, if you guys are, what level you are. Are you kind of beginners in crypto trading, intermediate, advanced? That would be quite helpful to know, actually. Anybody who's, if you type in B for beginner, I for intermediate, and A for advanced, that would kind of help.
So we're getting a lot of Bs, a couple of Is.
We've got a lower beginner. What's that? Is that below beginner?
I saw an aspiring beginner as well in there.
Okay, lots of beginners. That's fine. So, okay, guys, that's great. Thank you for that. Thanks for. Okay, advanced effects, but beginner and crypto. Well, I don't know what Tony. You're a pro, mate. You're a pro. You can type in P. You can have your own one. P for pro. All right, guys. I'm going to get started, Gav. Okay, because I want to make sure that we stick to the timeline.
Awesome.
All right. So if everybody's unmuted. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to leave questions until the end. So the presentation is going to take approximately 60 minutes. Then we're going to kind of go into a Q&A. Gavin will be making note of your questions. I'm not going to be looking at them. I'm going to be focused on delivering the content for you so you can get value from tonight. And if I do ask you a question, obviously just respond. Other than that, guys, you know, hopefully you get massive value from it. Just sit back and let's get going. A little sip of water. Tony, the screen is there. You should be able to see it. Everybody should be able to see it. Okay. So if there's any issues, I'd expect Gav to let me know.
So just a good question, actually. Scott saying, is the recording being sent out to us? There's no guarantee with technology. We're hopefully going to upload it to the Facebook group, but this is a good reminder, guys. Grab a pen and a piece of paper and write stuff down because you're going to retain more information anyway. And we're going to try and give you as much information as possible. So Scott, great question, but yeah, don't rely on the technology in case it doesn't record and we can't post it into the group.
And Scott, I'm just going to say something. I'm glad you said that because I forgot to unpause the recording. So now I'm going to unpause it. So none of that recorded, by the way, but we didn't say anything too important. So now I'm going to resume recording. Okay, guys, are we ready to go? Mr. Gav, shall I get going?
Let's do this.
Let's do this, guys. As I was just saying, I will repeat what I said. Leave questions until the end, and we will get to them, okay? We will get to them. So just type them out as you see them. So if there's anything that doesn't make sense, I'm going to be going through things quite fast. Anything that doesn't make sense, everyone, just make a note of it, or just actually just type it in the chat, and Gavin will make a note of the key questions, and then we'll come back to them at the end. Okay, so as Gavin said, what I'm going to be covering today is the basic principles, the 4 basic principles that has allowed me to grow my account from 30K to 180K in 3 months. Just for your information, it's still growing. It's not stayed at 180,000. So I'm using the same principles that I've grown it to this level to continue to grow it. So that's really, really important to specify. So what I'm going to be teaching you essentially is something that you can model. Okay, so it's something that you can model to do the same for yourself. Okay, so let's get going. So what are you going to learn? Well, as I said, you're going to basically learn my blueprint and of how I've done this. And by the way, guys, this wasn't my goal. I did set a target. It wasn't this target. And I'm going to get to that in a moment. Now, we want to kind of offer you a free gift just for being here. Because I know you're kind of taking time out of your day, of your evenings, depending on where you are in the world. And, you know, some of you guys will know some of our students will know some of the cryptos that I'm holding, but I've recently added a new crypto, which I believe has got the potential for a huge growth over the next 12 months. And I'm going to give you that cryptocurrency for free if you stay until the end of this presentation. You're going to be sent a video breaking down the opportunity that I have just taken. And I've actually recently added to it as well. So I bought this about a month ago and I've added to it. So it's a project that not many people know about. So you're going to be getting that if you stay until the end, we'll show you how to access that. So who is this presentation for? Well, it's for basically anyone who wants to build a significant wealth for yourself and your family using let's say a high risk leverage vehicle. Now, anything that is leveraged has some risk to it. So it's kind of like, driving a Ferrari is maybe riskier than driving a Ford, depending on what Ford you get the picture. So you need to know how to handle it. And obviously cryptocurrency is highly volatile and it's something, but it can give you significant income, as you saw from myself. Anyone who's looking for a blueprint that avoids all the struggles that other traders go through. So, kind of hunting for things yourself. There's so much information on the internet. You need to simplify it. You need to make it so like every time you make a decision, you know exactly the process that you need to take in order to move forward, rather than trying to guess and try different things. If you want a blueprint, then this is for you. Anyone who's looking for guidance from a proven trader, look, for those, I'm going to kind of tell you for those that don't know me, a little bit about my background. But I've been in the markets for 18 years. I've proven that you can consistently trade, you can consistently be profitable, and you can do it across asset classes. My expertise has always been FX, but I've been able to migrate into other markets like cryptos and had amazing success. And for anyone who's happy to follow instructions and are open-minded and coachable. You see, like, if you kind of approach anything, guys, with like the mindset of I already know this, then the reality is that nothing can go in. Okay, like, and I've got to be honest, there are things in my life that, maybe I feel like that. And if I believe in something and I'm not open to something different, nothing can go in. And so in what I'm asking you to do with trading is just almost tell yourself you don't know anything. Pretend you don't know anything and let the information sink in. Let it sit there, because as soon as you say, I know this, I've done this, I know how to do this, I know this stuff, I've read about it, you cannot take it in, and therefore you can't progress. So it's really important that you keep that open mind. Who this isn't for, this is also important. So you need to know that this isn't for you if you fit any of these criteria. So if you're looking for easy money with no commitment or effort, this is not that, guys. I know you go on the internet and you see everybody's kind of like posting how much money they're making, and that, you know, and our students are doing really, really well. And there's a lot of people making a lot of money. However, there's a learning curve. Okay, you need to, and it's a constant learning curve. Even myself, I'm still learning. So you need to be committed to this. You need to learn how the markets work, how cryptos work, what strategy you're going to implement. So you need to know that this is not a case of like, you don't do anything, you just suddenly become a millionaire. You need to have at least $500 to invest. You know, honestly, I wasn't sure if that number was correct, but 500 is enough. It's been proven by some of our students that 500 is enough to get going. Obviously, if you have a bit more, it's better. But, you know, if you've got at least $500, then this can be for you. If you don't, then I wouldn't get into crypto trading with anything less. If you're generally someone who's reckless and emotional, but are not willing to change, okay, so that's a really important thing. You know, we can all be emotional in certain areas, but you have to be willing to change, okay? So if you want to achieve, you can achieve unbelievable things in crypto trading. But, you know, as you've seen with what I've done, but if you are not willing to change your personality and you're just somebody who's always going to be reckless and you just keep making the same mistakes and you're not willing to learn from them or change who you are, then it's not going to work for you. And finally, if you're closed-minded, so the sort of person that already knows everything, then it's not going to work for you. So a little bit of background on me. I'm not going to kind of go too much into this, but essentially I've been trading for 18 years. Most of my experience has been in the institutional world. At one point I was managing a $200 million account for a hedge fund. You know, I've got a lot of institutional experience and knowledge that I've gained within that environment, high pressure environment. I know what it is to manage traders, to manage trading floor, and to grow accounts. You know, I've also been a regular speaker. I've been asked to speak at regular investor show events. And I also lecture for Middlesex University, where we have a partnership and we have a module that goes towards their degrees. Okay, so that's kind of like a little bit about my background and what I'm currently doing, just to know who you're listening to. So these are kind of some of our results that I post sometimes in our group. You know, these are FX trades. So to give you an idea of what I'm currently doing, I must say I've paused the FX a little bit over the last couple of months because I've just been so engrossed with cryptos. But here's an example here of a video. I'm not going to play the video now, but where I banked just over 13 grand on the euro dollar in just under 24 hours, and then just over 10 grand in 2 days on a different currency pair. And the most important thing here, guys, is that, you know, this isn't going to happen for you on a £2,000 account. You know, I have a big size account. You know, I'm trading for a living. So this is what I live off. Yes, I do own other investments, passive investments, like property and obviously cryptos. But I rely on my trading to pay for my lifestyle. So it's important that you're learning from somebody who actually does this. There's some more screenshots here, guys, where, you know, just some of the examples. Obviously, I've posted some winning trades here. I do also have losing trades, just to be clear. Nobody wins all the time. If anybody tells you that they do, then they're obviously not telling you the truth. So, you know, you will lose. It's inevitable. But the most important thing is that you're consistently growing your equity curve. Now, the truth is that crypto is not like FX. It really isn't. The things that work in FX do not work in cryptos, and the things that work in cryptos do not work in FX. Why? Because there are two different markets, two different types of participants. FX is heavily influenced by institutions. That's the reality. Crypto is heavily influenced by the retail traders. So there's a lot more emotions, okay? A lot more emotions in crypto. So you're going to see volatility. If you've never traded crypto yet, you're going to see volatility that could frighten you if you're not prepared. And part of what we do is to prepare you for that, because it's not for the faint-hearted. But if you're prepared and you know it's going to happen, you can actually really take advantage of that. So when everyone's panicking, you should be the calmest person in the virtual room, right? Like, you should be the calmest person in the virtual room, because that's where the big money's made. Like, are some of the biggest investors in the world, they have made their money in the biggest market crashes. When everyone is panicking, they're just accumulating. They know the game. The market will correct. And this is how you need to be. And you need to kind of be prepared for that. So anyway, without digressing, what I wanted to do is I wanted to prove myself, just like I have in FX for so many years, that I could, be consistently profitable in crypto trading by adjusting my methods. So I needed to make sure before I taught crypto trading that my methods actually work. And that's what I did. So I used my 18 years experience as a trader, and I got to work, and I literally immersed myself, and I didn't do much else. So for those that have been, that know that I can be very active in our groups, there was a period where I literally went silent because I was engrossed in this. I was developing this, and I was doing it at a fast pace to deliver what I felt would be vital information, because I believe right now cryptocurrencies are one of the biggest, if not the biggest, opportunities that I've ever seen in my time as an investor stroke trader. So that's what I did. And I love targets. Now, if you're anything like me, guys, and you're quite competitive, you should be setting yourself some targets, okay? Like something exciting. Now, whatever it is for you, 5K, 10K, 2K, it doesn't matter what it is. It's got to be exciting and what you feel is attainable. So I felt like actually looking at the volatility and what I could see the market, how much the market moves compared to FX, I figured that, look, I could probably make $100,000 of profit in 3 months by funding my account with $30,000. So I did my calculations, and that was my challenge. And it was just a challenge for me. I didn't share it with anybody. I just thought, I don't want to kind of, I didn't want to sort of, I guess, set myself up for failure and have all this pressure. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it and let's see if it works. And so what I ended up doing actually was way more. So in the 3 months, which is just the 3 months recently, right? So it's not like I'm talking about last year. I'm talking about the last 3 months, Jan 2021 to March 2021. I had 30K. And by the end of that trading period, which was a combination of things, I ended up with just over 180K. Now, this is a screenshot, a more recent screenshot of my account where it was 226,000. It's up a little bit more than that at the moment as well. So I'm on course and I'm maintaining basically what I've done before, which is roughly about 60K a month, only starting with 30K. And I'm doing it with the 4 core principles I'm going to be speaking about. Now, sometimes we might think, guys, that to achieve these kind of crazy returns, I must be risking a lot. I must be risking the account. That's not the case. I'm generally risking between 2 and 3% per trade. Okay, that's it. Now, it's a little bit more than FX, but I had a challenge a little bit different because my FX account is much, much bigger. So I increased the risk a little bit, but it was still pretty safe. Now, bear in mind, 2 to 3% plus the extra volatility where sometimes you're seeing a cryptocurrency double in a day, right? You catch one of those and, you've already made, a big chunk of your goal. So that's kind of what I did. And that's really what happened, guys. I caught some, I was buying Cardano for like 25, 30 cents. I was buying Icon for like 60 cents. And I wasn't buying it like the traditional way. I wasn't going, and you're going to kind of learn what I was doing. I wasn't going and buying it and put it into spot, because that wouldn't have grown my account the way it has. You know, I was using other methods. So I'm going to show you exactly how I did it and how you can do something similar. So what are we going to learn today? The 4 secrets that I used to make 600% ROI in just 3 months. Okay, so these are the 4 core things I'm going to cover tonight, guys. Number 1, market timing. Secret number 2, borrowing to invest. Secret number 3, portfolio management. And secret number 4, coin valuation. Okay, so I'm going to break these down in just a moment. Okay, it's the 4-step approach to crypto trading. Now, before we delve in, I want to be transparent with you about something, about my past, because sometimes people will look at me where I am today. And for those that have got to know me, our students, some of you guys are on tonight with me here. You might look at me and you might think, okay, well, you know, it's okay for you because you're this genius in trading and you know everything and you're making a lot of money from it. But the reality is that was not the case. And if you're struggling right now and you haven't quite made it and you're thinking about, is this right for me? The doubts come in. Should I be doing this? Shouldn't I have done this? Trading maybe isn't for me. All these little things. Do you think that I didn't go through that? I went through that times 100, probably what you're going through right now. Probably times 100. And I could say that because I got to the bottom. I was right at the bottom. And the reality is that the reason why I can do this now is because it became my passion and my life's work. And that's why I'm able to do what I do now, which with what some people will think is relative ease. So if you look at me sometimes with the way I look at the markets and the way I can analyze something and you think, wow, you know, how does he do that? Well, it's simply because I've spent so many years doing it, right? I mean, the reality is, guys, if you do something over and over again, you know, you'd have to be pretty stupid not to get it, right? Not to get good at it. So that's really what I've done. Okay, so it's not like I've got this natural ability. It's just a true passion for this. And, you know, before I actually started to make money, I failed at trading for years, right? For years, and I struggled, and I actually got to the rock bottom, right? Literally to the rock bottom, where I was left with what was left in my bank was enough just to pay next month's rent. That was it. So that was what I was left with. And I was left with the humiliation of blowing up my account. And we were literally like 1 month away from being homeless. And I had to rethink what I was doing, and I had to take big action. And that was the turning point. The biggest turning point for me was that you either say, I give up, right? I can't do this. I can't control my emotions. Or you step up and you say, I'm going to do it now. No, this will never happen again. And that's what I did, guys. I literally said those words to myself. I said, this will never happen again. And I became the trader that you now see. So if you are at that place, guys, some of you guys are beginners. Some of you guys are already experiencing not quite making it. Don't give up. You know, this is important. It's important that you keep going, because I can be the example for you and I can help you get there. Now, back then, I didn't understand what a blueprint was. I didn't understand, you know, what structure was, what processes were. I didn't understand my numbers. These are all the key things that you must do to succeed. I was literally looking for fast money. I was thinking about, right, okay, I've made 100 grand, 200 grand. I want to make $1 million. I want to make, it was nothing about what the market's doing. It was just all about me. It was all about what I could get out of the market. And when you start to think like that, it will kill you. The market will literally take all your money. And that's what happened. So, you know, I learned my lesson the hard way, but you don't have to, okay? You don't have to. And, you know, back then I made myself a promise that if I was able to get to the other side, that I want to pay it forward and I want to help others to achieve this, because I know any of you guys can make it. Any of you can change your lives with trading. So fast forward to today, you know, genuinely, I live my life the way, on my terms, the way I love to do things. So I've got my dream house, my dream car. I travel in style. You know, I married my soulmate, who actually forced me 18 years ago, for those that know the story, to do a trading course. At the time, I didn't have the money. I didn't have anything. And, you know, she basically said, oh, no, I think you're going to be really good at this. That was good. That was good, good spot. And so she ended up funding my course. So she paid £2,000 to do this course that her mum actually paid for. And that's what got me into trading. So inevitably, I had to marry her. So, but yeah, on a serious note, you know, I've got two beautiful girls now, 2 and 4. Would you believe, I mean, if you know about my market, so secret number 1 today, guys, is market timing. Well, talk about market timing. Both my daughters were born on the same date, on the 3rd of July. And actually, I haven't told a lot of people, guys, but I have got another one due in July, supposedly end of July. But if we manage to do it on the 3rd of July again, then honestly, I don't even know what to say. So yeah, there you go. And you know, and you know, I love what I do. For those that, you know, I love to contribute. I love to help and mentor. And you know, it's a dream for me to be a mentor and to be speaking on stage, obviously after lockdown. But I love it. It just builds this energy inside me, and I love nothing more than to see people getting results. So what changed? Simply, guys, you know, I took action. I took massive action. I was focused. I was determined, and most importantly, I got help. I learned to follow a blueprint. And I learned to develop my knowledge and skills in trading based on that blueprint. And I made it my own, which is really, really important, guys. I keep saying this to you guys. Don't think that just by following some signals or following what somebody told you to do is going to get you where you need to go. You need to own it. It needs to be yours, and you need to fully own it. And when you do, that's when your results are going to dramatically change. So that's kind of really the biggest thing. And also the other kind of key thing is systemizing your approach. Everything needs a system, not just how you trade and how you get into the markets. I'm talking about everything, your routine, your habits. What do you do when you get up? How do you think? You know, have you got an abundance mindset? Have you got a fearful mindset? You know, all of these are going to be fundamental to how you approach the markets. And when you kind of approach it the right way, marry that with all the technical knowledge and understanding, you're going to be, you know, in an uptrend. So the reality is that the result was absolutely extraordinary. You know, I kind of went from earning £200 a month. You know, side story, I literally, when I kind of quit my job, because I was basically working in the city, and I quit my high paying job to go and earn £200 a month because I wanted to master trading in my own time. And I remember sort of telling my dad that, and he literally laughed at me and he said, seriously, what is wrong with you? But I kind of went from that to eventually landing, you know, a job in a hedge fund where I made over 123 grand in one day. So that kind of puts it into perspective, like the dramatic change that I experienced. And really kind of in that moment, it kind of dawned upon me that I really would never struggle from the same struggles that other traders face, because I understood it now, not just theoretically, I got it inside me, internally. And that's where it needs to be, guys. You need to have that belief and know-how. And once it's there, and that's going to be from practice and help and mentoring, but once it's there, literally, it is a game changer. So the amazing thing is that my process is scalable and repeatable and can be modeled by anyone. It's just a question of perseverance and learning the method and then applying it for yourself. So one thing you might be wondering, guys, is can this work for me if I'm a complete beginner with no experience whatsoever? Well, 100% the simple answer is yes. I'm going to bring a couple of examples of some of our students. I don't know if Eleanor's here with us today, but she's a great example of what can be achieved with the right attitude. Eleanor's got every reason not to be successful in this. She has a job, she looks after her kids, she's got a million things going on, but she's absolutely killing it. And I'm not saying she's making money every single day. We all will have losses, but in her first 14 days, she doubled her account. Recently, I just saw her post on our Facebook group that she's actually now putting more money into cryptos because she's confident now that she knows exactly what to do to make more money from trading. And this is what she said: I've paid a fortune in university fees that didn't deliver half of the content that this program provided. Andy's experience is top notch, and I don't think that there's anyone better to be delivering this course. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, and my goal now is to provide financial freedom for my family. Thank you, Eleanor. And our friend Rocky Balboa, Rocky's here with us today. Tony is an ex-military man, and I remember Tony asking me, Andy, I'm only going to have $500 to trade with. Is that going to be enough? And I explained to him, obviously there will be some limitations, but it's absolutely possible, and you can do it step by step, and then grow it, and then eventually you can kind of, build it up and use it more effectively with more money. And literally Tony has done amazing, and he's been such an inspiration to others in our group. He's managed to turn $500 into almost 4,000 in just 2 months, and doing an incredible job also of helping others who are struggling a little bit in the group with their psychology. So well done, Tony. And Shad, again, a total beginner who absolutely blew us away with what he did in his first month. Obviously, it's a lot to live up to, but to be able to make, he made over $20,000 in his first month with a 10 grand account, which is absolutely incredible. So again, with the right mindset, with the right approach, and this is, and Chad openly admits that, that was not with him not even doing things perfectly, not even that was still in his first month of learning. And obviously the more you learn, the more prepared you are for the markets. So again, an amazing result. So hopefully that should inspire you guys who are beginners to already see what's possible. So in today's presentation, I'm going to show you a breakdown of the 4 things you need to master to get the same type of results. This is it, guys. We're going to keep it real simple. So secret number 1 is my toolbox. Identifying optimal buying and selling points in the markets. Okay, so what is market timing? Market timing is essentially getting into the market at the right time and not chasing the market, not kind of fearing that you're going to miss out, just trusting in the process that actually we've got tools that we're using that tell us when something is overpriced, right? For those that have been trading with me and are in our course, they know those tools. You know when something is overpriced. You know when something is run away from you. Now, it's very, very important that you wait for the market to come back to you. Don't jump in. Don't jump in and time the market, because when you time the market, you're going to get, you're going to essentially immediately go into profits, and it's going to already affect, so if you do get a pullback, it's not going to be so psychological draining. It won't be psychologically drained to the point where you need to close your trade and then miss out on the move. So market timing is everything. So it's about understanding when you should get in and when something is, oversold or overbought. So what is the toolbox, guys? It's nothing. We're not going to hide what we use, right? This is everything that we use. Okay, so this is everything that I cover in my cryptocurrency course. But it's about knowing when to use it and how to use it. That's the most important thing. Okay, because all of these are just tools. Okay, and you need to be able to put them together to formulate a trade plan that allows you to find high probability setups that are going to basically grow your account. So correctly using these tools basically has allowed me to time the market perfectly and more often than not, which means I can take a position, and when I'm in, I'm able to use more, I'm able to use a higher position size because I haven't got in at the top, I've got in on the pullback, right? Hopefully that's making sense. Guys, just type in a yes. Just want to make sure that everybody's following so far. Does that make sense? Just type in a yes. I just want to know if that's making sense. Gavin, if you could just let me know if what people are saying. I'm just going to have a sip of water.
Yeah, thank you to everybody who's saying yes. We've got Eunice, we've got Mina, Martin. There's a few names that I can't. I would butcher if I tried to pronounce them, but everybody's saying yes. Everybody's on the same page, so let's keep it going.
Okay. So this is like, I mean, there's tons and tons of examples, but this is an example again, you know, in our group where we post ideas, and you know, and everything is kind of streamlined to within a plan. So this was me posting something about a crypto called Reef. I was looking for this to start popping higher. You know, I had these were my signals. I had the super trend bullish, I had the coral trend rotation, I had an increase in buying volume. The money flow index was converging with this, and then the Heikin-Ashi rotation. Now that might sound like complete Japanese to you, but basically that was part of my momentum strategy. And then literally this trade banked me 30%. So you can see there, I was a little bit excited there. For anybody who's old school like me, they might know the song, the reef is on fire. Well, it's not reef, but who knows what the real word is out of interest? I'm sure you, Gavin, definitely know it.
I couldn't remember actually, but loads of people have got it. Con, Zakaria, Shane, Alexandros, 90s baby. The roof is on fire.
Don't lie to me, Gavin, that you didn't know that.
I'm not that old, mate. What are you on about?
No, mate, you are. You're older than all of us. So that brilliant. Well done, guys. For the youngsters, they're like, oh, what is he talking about? Yeah, so this one was a nice trade. Now, this one actually was a recent one. So I thought, let me just see if I can post one that I'm taking now. So I posted it in the group the other day, and I took so even if so this is the great thing about trading as opposed to just buying and holding. Like, one, you can use trading as a hedge. So like, you know, if right now, for example, I'm going to show you an example in a moment where I've actually taken a hedge against the market falling using Bitcoin. I'll explain that. But on this specific example, I was just looking for a short-term idea, right? I wasn't looking for, you know, I'm bullish on Ripple. I'm bullish on this cryptocurrency. You know, for a lot of you that know that you know, I was buying this at 50 cents, and I'm still bullish on it here. I think it's got a lot more upside, but if I see an opportunity to make money on the short side, then I'll take it. So this one was, you can see we had the stochastic RSI overbought. We were hitting a resistance line, and I put an order in to sell at 134.60. Why? Well, one of my biggest secret sources, guys, is I use order flow. So by marrying the technicals with order flow, I knew that there was a very high probability that 135 was going to be an area that was going to create resistance. How did I know that? Well, look at the amount of orders at 135. So what did I do? I literally jumped in just before it. Okay, so I got in just before that price because I didn't want it to get all the way up there. I wanted to sell it before it got to that big brick wall. And I was able to take a very low risk trade. Have a look here. Okay, I took a screenshot at the time. Gavin's always telling me, Andy, take screenshots of your trade, take screenshots of your trade. And I always forget, but this time I remembered, I did it. And this one here was a risk of $141. Now, most people could do that trade, right? $141 was all I was risking. I didn't do a lot because I was going against the market and I wanted to go in with a tight stop. So my stop was 136.50. Okay, so I placed it just above that brick wall. And I was hoping that the market would go down to 120.50 to give me just over $1,000, right? So let me ask you guys, I think it's a simple question, but just to keep everybody awake, who would be happy to risk $141 to make over $1,000 potentially and have a high probability of hitting it? Just type in a yes if that would be you. I'd assume everybody, but if there is a no in here, then absolutely fine. I know Gavin's definitely a no. It's not enough for him. Are we getting yeses, Gavin? Any no's?
Apparently just me with the no. Everybody else is yes.
Everyone else is yeah, there you go.
And also Con's having a pea and ham soup to help keep him awake because he's in Australia too.
Perfect. Excellent. Pea and ham soup. Excellent. I didn't know that was energizing, but excellent. Good to know. I'll replace my green smoothie with it. All right. Awesome, guys. Nice one. Thank you for participating. I think it's also good for you guys to sort of stay alert. So this is what happened, guys. I got in and I didn't put the screenshot here, but literally one of the, I think it was Tony, posted in our group. So literally it just got there and just went down. That's what happened. You can see it there. It got to my level just below 135 and just went down. And this was the result. 5 minutes. In the first 5 minutes of me entering that trade, okay, risking only $141, and in 5 minutes it was up $262. In just under 2 hours, I closed it just before bed to net $820, risking just $141. So when you kind of understand how the technicals work, add the demand and supply, and you marry them together, it's so powerful because you can literally make money that fast with such low risk. And that's where the power, because you just don't get those kind of moves in FX, to be quite honest. This is just insane. And like this, you could do this all day long. But honestly, if you wanted to be in front of your screens, you could do this all day long. So correctly using the right tools gives you quick profits with low risk. That is the kind of key takeaway. It's about being patient, waiting for the right setup, and then waiting for the right entry. So this is absolutely critical, as I was kind of saying before, because it avoids unnecessary drawdown and what the crypto family call the weak hands. You know, if you kind of ever go into these groups, and you know, that's something that everybody said, the weak hands. You know, if you that hodl, weak hands, you know, hodl onto something, but it's not easy, right? If you bought the top and the market just keeps going down and down and down and down, at some point you're going to want to end the pain. Whereas if you bought at the right price, well, the likelihood is that when you bought, the market will probably go your way. So you bought at the right time. So you're also going to it's going to allow you to get in without too much drawdown and therefore a bigger position size as well. Right, the next one. This is a real key to what I've done, guys. This is a real key. Borrowing to invest. Okay, this is a fundamental part of how I've grown my account. Now, margin trading can allow you to 10x or even 100x your investment, but you must do it correctly, okay? Because there are risks if you don't do it correctly. So you need to understand how to use margin, but you must be using margin. Like, for me, it's crazy not to. Sometimes people say, oh, but you pay fees. Yes, you do, but you pay interest. Yes, you do. But have you seen how fast cryptocurrencies work? Like how fast they move? So, you know, paying a small fee, paying a little bit of interest is absolutely fine. Think of it like this, guys. we've all got a mortgage, or if you've got a house, you've got a mortgage, right? So we're paying interest, but they've given us the money to buy a house. We've just put a small deposit, and then somebody else has lent us the money so we can go and buy our big house, right? So it's exactly like this. So there's no real difference to doing that. So anybody who says, oh, margin trading is too risky, no, it's just the lack of education. Once you know how to do it, it's so powerful, and you must master it. Think of it like this. Would you borrow money at 5% interest if you could make 300% back? Absolutely. I mean, think about, again, going back to the simple example of a house. How much is your house going to be worth in 20, 30 years' time compared to the interest that you've paid? The interest will be minuscule as a percentage. Does that make sense, everybody? Just type in a yes. Does that make sense? Yes. So don't fear it. Don't fear it. So this is actually one that I posted. So anybody watched our crypto show the other day? I was talking about Bitcoin, and that it could fall. Okay, it could fall. It could go up to the sort of 55, 56,000 area. That's what I was talking about. And there could be one drop, a big drop, right? Now, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I'm preparing for it. Now, what I do sometimes is, I can use this as a way to hedge myself. So if I've got long positions, I can sell Bitcoin, I can short sell Bitcoin in my zone. And that's exactly what I've done, by the way. And that allows me to hedge against the drop. Now, you can also go and close your long positions, but this way I don't have to close my long positions, and I can make money as Bitcoin goes down. If it goes down, and if it goes up, it's fine. Probably everything else goes up, so it's fine. You just pay a little bit of money on your loss. Now, what I'm about to talk about has nothing to do with that. I just wanted to throw that in there. I want to give you an example of a case study here. So let's say we want to buy Bitcoin. So maybe you want to buy Bitcoin at 40,000. So if you've got 10 grand to invest and you want to buy Bitcoin at 40,000, you would basically go and receive 0.25 Bitcoin, right? And let's say we believe it's going to get to 100,000. So that's probably the next obvious big target for Bitcoin. So we buy at 40,000, we target 100,000, we've invested 10 grand, we make 15 grand, right? Not bad, you might say. Great, right? 150% return. Most people would be really happy with that. But what if you used your 10K as collateral to borrow more? What if we just did it quite safe? Just 3x your capital. What does the numbers look like? What does it look like? Well, you've done the same amount of work. It's exactly the same trade, but there's a difference. The difference is more profit. So your target's still 100,000, but this time you make 45K instead of 15K. Now, for me, that's much better, right? Now, yes, there'll be people in this group that are now saying, yeah, but that's a lot more risky. Not if you do it correctly, because there are systems and processes in place that you can put that, one, you can close your trade if it's not working the way you want. It's still gonna drop a significant amount, which we've already, because remember what I said before, guys, about the market timing. If you're getting in and that section, so let's go back to that slide very quickly, right? We're not buying now, right? If you're buying now, then, well, I can't help you with that. If you're buying now, but if you're buying at this price, right? Is there not a high probability chance, right? We're on a long-term trend. Is there not a high probability chance that at some point here, we're going to probably turn? Hopefully you're saying yes, right? Even if it's to yourself, but you can type it out if you want. So by market timing correctly, and then using margin, the chances of us being stopped out is going to be very, very small. So we are now, because we have been patient with time in the market, we're able to get a much bigger profit. And that's how you grow an account, guys. That's how you grow the account. And that's what I've been doing. So, using margin is essentially an unbelievable way to increase your account fast. But you must only do it once you understand it, because if you don't understand it and you don't know what you're doing, and you can really mess it up and blow your account. So I don't want to put fear in you, but make sure that you understand how margin works, especially for those that have been trading on Binance. They will know that it's not the simplest platform. There's a lot of complication to it. And for those that are used to MT4, you kind of understand that it's not like MT4. There's a learning curve, believe me. I've made some mistakes that some of my students know. I've made mistakes on Binance as well. So it's really important that you understand it. Right, secret number 3, guys, I need to push on. Portfolio management. Portfolio management. This honestly is critical, absolutely critical, that you do this correctly and you incorporate this in your trading. What is portfolio management? Portfolio management is the process of identifying the best place for your money to work hardest for you right now. Really important. Let me repeat that. Portfolio management is the process of identifying the best place for your money to work hardest for you right now. So this is about being organized. It's about not saying, well, look, I like this crypto, but this crypto is overpriced, right? I've caught the move, it's overpriced. But this cryptocurrency over here is not overpriced, and I also like this one too. So rather than keeping my money there, because sometimes people think, well, I'll just keep it there, and then the market will come back, and then it will go back up eventually. And people say, oh yeah, but it will go back up. Yes, it will. But if you want to grow your account fast, you need to put some work in. You need to move some money from over there, stick it over there, let that grow, put it back, and just be actively managing your account. Now, you don't have to do that, but if you want to get these kind of results, and portfolio management is important. So it's about allocating your funds to the correct cryptocurrency at the right time. That's what it's about. So, and it really is a fundamental part of how I've grown my account. So and the other thing as well that's really important is sometimes you need to move into cash. Okay, so you have to understand when moving into cash makes sense. So if you're anticipating a big pullback, for example, well, you might kind of look at your position and think, well, okay, maybe I can take a short and make some money on the downside. Or I can actually just go in and close my biggest positions and just wait and plan and wait for those ideal entry points. And then you can buy with the cash that you've stacked up more of that cryptocurrency at cheaper prices. So you're basically, rather than sitting through that, okay, and going through that roller coaster, you can wait for the price to come back down and then buy it at a cheaper price. So, and the main thing to understand about this lesson is that when you're holding something, there's an opportunity cost because you could be in something else, right? You can't, with limited resources, if money is put in there, it can't be over there, right? So bear that in mind, okay? Bear that in mind. Now, if you just kind of want to have a more relaxed approach, you just want to hold some coins, just let the market go up, and not spend too much time, you can absolutely do that. You're just not going to be able to do these kind of returns that quickly, right? So, but I believe cryptocurrency has still got a lot of upside. So you still will make money, most likely. So here's an example, guys, of what I'm talking about. So ADA in April, at the start of April, moved up about 5%, okay, since the start of April, at the time of this screenshot. XRP moved 147% in the same period. Guess which one I was in? XRP, right? And here's a screenshot of me buying it. And I posted this in our group. I might have even posted, I don't know which group I posted this in, but I was saying 50 cents. It's a bargain. I'm going to buy Ripple. I think it was in our elite crypto group. And these are screenshots of me buying it basically. And I bought a lot. And, literally whilst another cryptocurrency was doing nothing, I was able to make just over 36 grand on XRP in about 3 weeks. And here's the crazy thing about this, guys. This is true. I didn't use any extra money. What I did was I literally borrowed off the back of my equity. So I had the opportunity to borrow US dollars, okay, because I had open equity, positive equity. It cost me $57 and I made 36 grand with that position in 3 weeks. Isn't that amazing? And that's the power of understanding of like where you need to be moving things. So this is literally what I just said. I paid $57 of interest to make 36 grand. Now I'm going to ask you this question, and I think this is an easy answer, but who would be happy to pay $57 of interest to make over 36K? So if you ever hear yourself saying, oh, but I don't want to pay interest, I don't want to pay fees, don't say it again. Just let me know. Type in a yes, humor me. Let's see if there's any no's apart from Gavin. Gavin doesn't like to make money.
No, everybody's saying no. They prefer the first deal. They'd rather spend $114 for 1,000.
You'd rather save the interest, wouldn't you, Gavin?
Are you trying to infer that I'm tighter git than you are?
Mate, I never said that. I never said anything. But if that's coming up for you, Gavin, then you know.
Yeah, no, we're getting lots of yeses. George is saying me for sure. Alexandros is saying it's a bit cheap. Sandra Powers is saying super exclamation mark. Najit, wow. Nicholas, yes. So yeah, this is great stuff, mate.
Right. This one is something that maybe you've never thought about before, but how to value a coin and how to value its potential. This is going to really, hopefully, open your eyes up. How do you know if a crypto is cheap or expensive? Well, one, you need to avoid hype and FOMO. The worst culprits for sure are Twitter and Facebook. So I'm going to tell you right now, don't trade off tips, okay? Don't trade off tips. Don't go into groups and see whatever everyone else is pumping. They're pumping it, guys, because they're in it and somebody else has probably told them to be in it. Okay, so definitely don't do that. But you need to understand, you know, this is obviously we've got a limited amount of time here, but I want to teach you something that's going to really help you. So this is a real misconception. We think that because what most people are doing right now is they're valuing whether something is cheap or expensive based on what, guys? Beginning with P. Type it out. What are we most people saying based on what? If something's cheap or expensive? Beginning with P. Have they got the answer, Gav?
No one so far. We're all a bit stumped. You're gonna have to give us. You're gonna have to play hangman, mate. You're gonna have to give us another clue.
Seriously? I thought it was just an easy one. Okay. So, all right. So, how do you decide if how do we decide if something is cheap or expensive? A cup of coffee, beginning with P. Mark and Jeff are correct. Price, guys. The simple thing, the simplest thing that comes to your mind. Price, absolutely. It's about, so most people say, well, it's about price. So when you look at these two cryptocurrencies, right? Well, this one is just 57 cents. This one is $666. Well, that must mean that this one is cheaper. Is that correct? Who thinks that XLM, based on this, is cheaper than Bitcoin Cash. Excellent. Oh, Lucas, well done. Price does not tell us whether something is cheap or expensive in this case. What we need to be looking at is the market cap. Okay, so the market cap is going to tell us whether something is cheaper or more expensive. Okay, so the bigger the market cap, the more expensive the cryptocurrency is. And we also want to be looking at the circulating supply. So firstly, the market cap, it gives us an apple versus apple comparison. So, you know, this is what you need to be looking at if you want to see whether something is cheap or expensive. So let's go through the definition. So market cap is, for a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, market capitalization or market cap is the total value of all the coins that have been mined. It's calculated by multiplying the number of coins in circulation by the current price of a single coin. Okay, and we also want to look at the circulating supply. So everybody understand what market cap is? So it's basically taken the amount of coins that are in circulation, essentially, that have been mined, times that by the price, and that's going to allow you to compare the two. And you can see when you do that, that actually this cryptocurrency was higher at the time of this screenshot. So in order for you to find real value, if you want to find something that might want 100x or 1000x, you can do that by looking at the market cap. So let's also look at circulating supply so we understand what this means. So the term circulating supply refers to the number of cryptocurrency coins or tokens that are publicly available and circulating in the market. For example, the circulating supply of Bitcoin will gradually increase until the max supply of 21 million coins is reached. Okay, so these are the general rules of how these work. Low market cap cryptos offer the highest potential for growth. Low supply will increase the price. So anyone who studied economics, the one supply will understand. So here's a little screenshot here to give you an idea of what you could be doing, guys. So if you look here, right, at the time of this screenshot, so I've looked at NFTs because they're kind of big at the moment. And if you take the number one NFT, which is Theta, right, and you look at the market cap right there, and let's say you were looking at a smaller one, something like Ecomi, which is also quite popular. Well, this one, for example, is about a tenth of this one by market cap. So what you could argue then is that there is just, if this kind of catches up to here, which is definitely possible because obviously there is a crypto in this category already at this market cap, and obviously cryptos are growing, right? There's going to be more and more money. So this is going to be higher at some point, unless something goes really wrong. So there is a potential that this could easily 10x. Okay, does that make sense, everyone? So you already kind of understand. So, okay, well, if the number one is there, well, at some point, we know that it's possible to have a market cap that big in this sector. So therefore, this could technically, in theory, you know, without kind of going into the fundamental pictures and everything else, it could 10x. So you could 10x and get to the number one spot. Let me know if that makes sense. I'm going to move on to the another example. Right, so this one is another example here. This one is a huge difference compared to Theta Nero. So this one is number 78 in the group. Its market cap is tiny. And so, you know, if you do the calculation, if you take this market cap divided by this market cap, this gives you this calculation. So this essentially means that you could do a 1,628x in centric, and it will get to this market cap here. So obviously this is higher risk, but when you go to the really low ones, you don't need to put a lot of money into this. That's why you've seen people like literally put in $50, $100 and make thousands and thousands of dollars because they caught, one of these massive, crypto. So it's about kind of doing your research, trying to identify projects that could do those kind of returns. So literally, $1,000 investment could become, in theory, 1.6 million. And we've seen those kind of things happen before. Right, guys, we have actually come into the end of this presentation. And I want to kind of remind you of the kind of key takeaway points before we move into the next section and go into the Q&A. So if you have been asking questions, great. Hopefully Gavin's got some for me. If not, then, there'll be a point where you can start asking me those questions and we can go through them. So the key thing, guys, for you is you need to master technical analysis so you can time your entries. You need to master portfolio management, okay? So knowing where to move to cash, knowing when to move from one currency to another currency, and doing that strategically and in a processed way. You need to be using margin if you want to grow your account fast. If you want to have the opportunity to grow your account fast, you need to be using margin. You need to be borrowing, but you need to do it, again, strategically so that you're not at risk. And finally, the coin valuation. You need to understand what kind of, so obviously when you go for a high market cap, you understand that you're in a much more stable coin. It's been proven. It's, that's why it's up there. But the potential for growth is obviously less. If you want to kind of find a medium risk coin, I would be looking in the list between 50 and 100, where there's a lot of room for growth, but it's not super, super high risk. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So hopefully some of you guys can already see what's possible and how quickly you can succeed once you have a proven blueprint. Can everybody see that, guys? Can you see what can be achieved once you master this? Just type in a yes. And we're going to move on to the part where we talk to you guys about the opportunity of joining us and our students in the Elite Crypto program. I've just brought the chat up. I can see some yeses here.
So I was just trying to take a note of all the questions that are coming in, and then you get everybody to say yes, and now there's a whole load of whys. And I've got to keep up, mate.
Guys, just keep typing yes, and he just can't keep up with him. Make him work.
You're making the questions move as fast as the blooming cryptos do in the markets.
That's it, babe. That's how we need to bring it to life.
So you ready for questions now?
No, not yet. We'll get to just make a note of them. We'll get to them at the end. Once we've gone through, or because I know people. It's probably quite late for a lot of people.
Okay.
So, unless you want me to do the questions now.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I just want to make sure that we've got enough time. So this is the mastering these 4 things gives you a clear path to building sustainable wealth and impact. Now, the reality is, guys, we've been trained and conditioned to think a certain way, where you need to kind of, you have to work for somebody, you have to work hard to get remunerated, and it's hard to accept that you can make this kind of life-changing money that quickly, but it's possible. This is just the way we've been wired, okay? And we need to change that. All successful people understand that the quickest way to success is to follow a proven blueprint and to leverage other people's knowledge. It's something that I really struggled with myself. I've got to be honest. I was always the kind of guy I think, well, I could figure things out for myself, but I wasted time. And I don't think like that anymore. Gavin will tell you, like, the way I think now is so different. Like, I if I know there's somebody that's got the knowledge, I'm just willing to pay to get that knowledge so that I can then use it to make a lot more money. And it's just like we value money more than time, but time is actually the only real true commodity. So if you want to fast track your success, then I want to invite you to join us on this journey with some of our other students on the Crypto Trading Master course that Gavin's going to kind of break down for you in just a moment. And obviously I'm going to be here to answer all of your questions, and we'll go through all your Q&As as well. Now, there is a limited time offer. This is not a marketing tactic or anything like that. Our program has been, we did it as an introduction, and you know, we can't sustain the level of support and the level that you need to succeed at this at the current price. But we are going to do it for one last time on this event, and Gavin's going to break down exactly what that is. Now, what this course is going to do is going to show you how to reach your goals and how to accelerate and amplify your current income. Now, as we said before, guys, this is not going to, you know, you have to put some work into this. So if you want to help, we're positive we can help you. It's about getting the support, getting the knowledge, getting the community, which is really, really important part of success, because it's not going to always be, you know, we have a mixed group. Most of the group are doing extremely well, but there's others that are struggling. And that's where you need that group environment to help you, to get you through that period. And, you know, and that's what it's there for. And that's the point of having them. And, you know, but it's important to know that this is not a get rich quick scheme, right? Yes, you can make a lot of money from crypto, but as we said before, you have to put the work in. Now, I do believe that crypto offers one of the best, if not the best opportunities that I have seen in my investing lifetime to grow a modest account into a small fortune. I honestly believe that. What I'm witnessing is incredible. Like, the results I'm seeing are incredible. And I'm sure in 3 or 6 months' time, my account is going to be significantly higher than where it is now. And I'm seeing that from beginners as well, from my students that are doing that. So here's a couple of other testimonials that some of our students have been posting. So I'm going to read this quite quickly, guys. So in my first month of trading cryptos, I started with $10,000 and I've already doubled my account to just over $20,000. I mean, this is just normal now. Most of it has come purely from what you have shown us in the program of how to identify undervalued coins that are likely to go up in value. So I bought them at spot. Now I'm looking to implement the margin strategies that you teach, because I've done this during my first month. Then I could have been an extra 3 to 5x the amount that I've already made with no extra work required. So what he's saying there is he didn't use the margin stuff. He was doing it at spot, and he still was able to double his account. I'm currently in my second month in the program, and I'm happy to say that all the hard work is paying off, as yesterday I made just over $8,058.48 in profit in one day, John Slack. Thank you, Andy. I have to admit that my confidence in trading started to improve as soon as I started sharing my ideas and practicing more. I've now moved from making losses to making 17% in profits in the last 2 days. Looking forward to many more days like this. Yeah, and I think that was Julie, you know, and I know you've messaged me, you've told me that your confidence has really grown. And, you know, sometimes you think, God, can I really do this? Like, was this just luck? And I know you dropped me a message to let me know that, wow, I'm actually still doing it, and it's really real now. And you can see the difference it can make to your life. And Lauren here put, I just had a rather big moment. I set the goal of earning my first $500 within 2 weeks. Well, I smashed that target and ended up tripling my account within the first 2 weeks, all with $30 risk per trade and whilst working. This is the thing, guys, whilst working his full-time job, just $30 a trade, right? And he doubled his account. And then Neil here put, to be honest, when I first heard about Andy, I was unsure, maybe because of the fact there's a lot of scammers out there. But then I watched the videos, I joined the group, it's not that expensive, and slowly I started to have confidence. In 2 weeks, I'm up £2,000. So what are you going to learn? Right. These are the kind of core things that we're going to kind of go through. So we're going to go through how to identify hot opportunities. We're going to talk about money and risk management, trading strategies, so momentum, reversal, consolidation, how to manage your portfolio to make the most of the compound effect, how to use leverage correctly to get rapid growth in your account, mean reversion, best crypto indicators, combination analysis, the multiple time frames, order flow, swing trading, day trading, you know, how to use demand and supply, how to dollar cost average so you don't have to, you know, when you want to invest, you don't need to necessarily sit down and, you know, time your market. You can literally dollar cost average in a very effective way and use margin at the same time. So the truth is, guys, most of the time, the thing that stops people is fear, right? And that's really, you know, whether you're on the program or not, or whether you choose to do this program or not, you know, if you see something that can change your life, and you just, and your natural, your logical brain is going to say, no, I can't do it, or this is not me, this is not for me. I know others can do it, but I can't do it. And it's just your conditioning. Like if you see something that you know can make a difference, you have to kind of throw your hat over the wall and give it a go. And by the way, we're going to make this like a risk-free opportunity, which I'm going to allow Gavin to explain. But it will be a risk-free opportunity, so you can literally try it, and if you're not happy with it, then you can have your funds returned. So we've kind of delivered what I promised at the beginning. So hopefully now already, guys, you have a much better understanding of what you need to do. And you can obviously go off and try and do that all on your own. And it's absolutely fine if you want to do that. Or you can get our help, get a proven roadmap to follow from someone who's been there and done it. And I can show you the quickest way to do it, plus have our support along that way when you actually, when you need to overcome those struggles. So honestly, this could be the most profitable decision you ever make, but you have to really want this. You know, most people want the reward, but not the sacrifice. So the truth is, guys, we want serious people. Okay, we don't want people that are going to just come in and not do anything and expect to get results. We want you to be serious. You need to also be in the right position financially to be able to do this. Now, as I said before, we've got students down here that only had $500 and they're doing extremely well. So you don't need to be, you don't have to come in with 20, 50, 100,000. Gav, are you happy to take over so I can actually breathe for a minute?
You take a breath, mate. Although you're not going to be able to breathe for long because there's quite a few questions coming in.
Okay, well, you go through everything with the guys, and then I'll be happy to answer the questions.
Okay, you want to do it that way around, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I just got to ask this one question because Mark's put in, look, give us a good price. So we will get to that, Mark. But just this one question. You said it wasn't a get rich quick thing, but all these people are doubling their money in 1 week. Not quite a week. Most of them are a month, but I get what you're saying. But it's, yeah. Do you just want to speak about that and how it's not a quick rich scheme?
Yeah, but they're doubling their accounts because it's hard. They're working for that. It's not just like pie in the sky and they're making a decision to they're hunting down the right cryptos. They're timing the market. There's no way you're able to do that if you're not doing all the core things that I was talking about. They're finding low value coins the way we teach, and they're doing all the core principles. So, and obviously you're not going to double your account every month, but it's possible, to consistently make extremely high returns. And then it's about understanding how to protect your account when the market isn't flying, when the opportunities are not there. So all of that's really, really important. And it's kind of like, essentially the key thing here is that they're putting in the work, they're committed to their success. So it's not a case of, when we say get rich quick, we're talking about literally where people say, hey, you just press a couple of buttons and, money just starts flying at you. No, it's not that.
Cool. Thanks for that. And obviously, like we're saying here, it's not a quick get rich quick scheme, but you will learn a set of skills that can eventually give you more time with your family, freedom for travel and adventure, or just more time and money. So it really does depend on what your own individual goals were. Like Andy said earlier, it is all dependent upon what challenge you want to set for yourself. So Mark's just said, okay, got you, thanks. Glad we got to answer that question for you, Mark. So this is the opportunity. Hopefully, if you're still here now, we've got 106 people still here. We take it for granted that we've got your permission, but we just want to check that we've got your permission to tell you about this information. So here's everything that you'll get. The program's called Crypto Like a Pro, the trading system. The system is a mixture of live and online based training to help give you an edge when trading cryptos. Quite a lot of the students were worried because a lot of times when you go on a course, it's just like static screens. It's not very dynamic, or you're just reading off a piece of paper and it's really hard to get context. But you'll see how Andy professionally manages his crypto portfolio to manage long and short-term results. And it's done over the shoulder. So kind of like this but there's live real-time videos where you'll actually get to see, and you can pause it and go step by step to copy what Andy's doing. And you'll get to learn how to spot key buy and sell zones so that you can catch the turning points before everyone else. Now, like Andy said earlier, the price will be 1997. That is the price on our website right now, but we are honoring the introduction price for this one last time, which is why quite a few of you are here. So this is what Andy's already gone through, some of the highlights of the course. So we've covered that already. So if you want to just jump to the next slide, and then obviously if anybody's got any questions, then we can go through them like we said. And I have made a note of most of the questions here. So if you don't get your question answered, we'll spend as long as you guys want to be on for, just put your question in again and we'll make sure we go through it. So what does that look like in real life and in real time and in reality? So week 1, you'll begin the Crypto Like a Pro trading system. You'll find out Andy's exact methodology for tracking and trading over 50 crypto coins, spending less than an hour a day screen time in the process. Yes, you can spend more, and you probably will find that you will want to spend more, but as you kind of work through this, you can kind of optimize it depending upon how much time you have. You'll discover his momentum strategy to trade cryptos that are ready to rip higher or lower, depending upon whether you want to short or go long, like Andy's demonstrated earlier on in this webinar. And then you'll get to identify his trade and risk management strategies using volume profile and VWAP and things like that in order to maximize your return on investment. And then from weeks 1 to 4, you'll get to implement the system and then aim to begin trading cryptos. So you'll get live weekly coaching and group mentoring to review everything that's happened over the past week. That's all designed to accelerate your learning, guys. So not stopping there, you'll also get weekly analysis to show you what you should be expecting from the markets and what trade setups Andy will be using. And then lastly, for this slide, you'll also get his ideas and support. So like he said earlier, it's not just about getting a tip, or it's not just about getting a signal and having no context behind it. You will actually be able to understand why it's likely to do what it's doing, because you'll be able to break down a chart and say, okay, I've got this, and this. Andy shows us websites where you can go and find out which cryptos have got the most social media coverage over a 24-hour or 48-hour period. It's not an accident that those are the ones that have fast moves, because they're the ones that people are talking about over social media. So there is a recipe for this, and there are patterns that you can use for sure. And then lastly, you'll get, like I said, his trade ideas in the exclusive Elite Crypto Traders Club. So if you think what we give in the free group is great, it is. It's designed that way. We want to show you what's possible, but you get even more in the private group, because that is paid for students. And obviously we've got a commitment then to meet you halfway with you're committing to us, we're committing to you. So part of the program is a 3-hour live market analysis with Andy. So if you watch our live Crypto Like a Pro show that we do every Tuesday, or even the FX Pips Like a Pro show we do on Mondays, free for everybody in the Facebook group, Andy does a trade setup of the week. More often than not, people are always messaging in saying, I've made money off that trade. Thank you very much. Imagine if you get 3 hours of just Andy actually hunting for trades for himself and breaking it down. Well, that's what you're going to get with this 3-hour live market analysis. So that's also included in the program. You are encouraged to fund a live account because then you can place trades along the way. What we also include is 2 weeks live Q&A and trading support. I can't believe you're not showing my face for this, but at least you get the content, mate. So probably better off that everybody's not seeing my bedhead this morning because it's still quite early here in Australia. But on the 2 weeks live Q&A and trading support, you will get fortnightly Q&A. So on Thursday, the 27th of May and the 3rd of June, so both Thursdays, you'll get a live session with Andy from 10 till 11 a.m. But as if there's any students here, they'll all say he always goes over the hour anyway. So that's 11 till 10 a.m. To answer any questions that you have, along with getting some trading support to help you catch the moves of that week. So he'll always break down a couple of trades that he's looking at. That's just the way that he is. So that's also included in the program. If you can't make any of the live masterclass or the Q&As, then you also get recordings of all the live trainings. So we've included that in the course. Eventually, this will be its own standalone product, guys. But at the moment, that's something that we're including in the cost of the course so that you can go back over that. Also, what you get included is 3 months VIP group membership. So this is where Andy posts his crypto trades, some market analysis. So again, you can expect a direct line from him a couple of times a week where he'll post both crypto trades like Ripple he was posting before it ripped, and other kind of crypto coins. What was the classic one that I didn't get involved in was VeChain, because I was still under the impression that, oh, it's not, it's like 0.03
I was telling
cents.
people to buy it at 3-4 cents and it got to 28.
Insane.
That was a killer trade.
That's almost a 10x return. But at the time, I didn't understand. Like, I thought it was relative to the price, and obviously you've broken
You didn't
that
want
down.
to pay the interest again, mate. I know.
And also I didn't open the crypto trade tracker as well, which that's really useful, being organized and tracking your trading. Like
Absolutely.
Andy said, there's a recipe here, and being organized is part of it, so that you can get a breakdown of how much you're risking. Keep an eye on which trades worked, which ones didn't. So that's also included in the program. Now, a lot of you have said that you're beginners. So we've also included a quick pre-crypto program, training program. So prior to starting the Crypto Like a Pro course, you'll get a quick crash course with Andy to get you up to speed. This includes chart and broker setup to ensure that you're ready to start trading. It will also cover the basics like trend lines, support and resistance, indicators and chart patterns to ensure that you're ready to hit the ground. And really kind of run with this. And as an extra bonus, what we're doing for anyone that's taking action right now, sign up within the next 48 hours and you'll get this extra limited special bonus, which is from the thousands of cryptos that Andy's picked out and that's available in the market. He's handpicked ones that he's personally either looking to invest in or that he's already invested in. That's also included. So Dickie's he's jumped the gun. He said, I see 5 or 6 different prices. So what is the overall price? Is it 1779? Well, and we didn't pay Dickie to put that in. If you're willing to pay that, then we'll take that now. You've got a deal, Dickie. But this is the deal that we're offering. So join now, get the complete program. So this is a breakdown of everything. The Crypto Like a Pro system, the value is 1997. That's a very real value that we'll be advertising it on our website. 3 hours live trading analysis. Andy privately coaches students, £500 an hour. You're getting 3 hours of his time. 2 weeks live coaching and Q&A. That's a 997 value. All the live training recordings. So hopefully, Dickie, this now makes sense. If it was a bit confusing, we apologize for that. That's just to show the value of all the components of the program. It's, if you add everything up, it's £8,276 of value from just 997. So that's the deal. And everybody else that's been saying, give us a great deal. Hopefully you're starting to see that this really is a great deal and it's very affordable right now. So we've gone even further. So tier 1 is our student offer. So anybody that's a current student of Andy's and the company going through either the FX funded trader program, the advanced FX trader training, or one-on-one coaching. So you pay a one-time price of just $997 today, or because we realize that there's still ramifications of all the virus malarkey and everything else, that's a very real thing, the fallout anywhere you are around the world. We are offering 3 monthly installments of $397. Ola's just put a great deal. Thank you very much, Ola. Glad you appreciate that. Tier 2 is for the members. So you're not left out either. If you, just by being a member of the Crypto and FX Traders Club, you also get a great price for this event, which is pay a one-time price of $12.97 or 3 monthly payments of $4.97.
Yeah, so just to be clear, guys, the tier 1 is for anybody, like Gavin said, that who is already a student of ours. So, you know, just as a thank you, we've given them an extra discount. But if you're not a student, but you are part of, that you're here with us today, you can pay $1,297 or 3 monthly payments of $497. And this is the last, so within 48 hours will be the last time you see this price. The price will be going up to the list price.
And that is serious, guys. If the price is still there, then Andy's going to wear a West Ham shirt. And as a Liverpool supporter,
I would never wear that, mate. You know that price is going up. I would never wear that in a million years. Roy
wants to know if there's any special deals for over 60s. Andy will buy you a packet of Werther's Originals, mate.
Mate, I like Werther's. Quite nice.
And Alexandros says, can we get you in an Arsenal shirt instead?
I'll vomit before I put that on.
It's fair. To be fair, it's still red. So
I'll choose the one after the
Arsenal. Tristan saying about a United shirt, that is never going to happen. And the United shirt will never happen. But anyway, we digress, guys. You get the point that this is 48 hours and then that's it, guys. It is closing out. To make sure that you're incentivized, we are going to reward the fast action takers, and that's the way it should be. If you're serious about getting into the crypto market, you see how fast these things move. By the time you think about what you're doing, it might have already happened. So you need to train your brain, and we're going to reward you for taking that fast action. So much so that you get 3 hours extra live trading analysis. So instead of getting 1 masterclass, you get 2. So you'll get to join Andy again live on Saturday, the 19th of June. That's actually the wrong time. It's actually 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. so that you've got the rest of the day and the rest of that weekend to put into practice what Andy's shown you and all the trades that he'll be looking for himself. You can place those trades and really take action on that. You also get 2 extra live fortnightly Q&A sessions. So on Wednesday, the 10th of June and the 24th of June, you'll go live again with Andy. By that time, you'll be sick of him because you're just seeing him so much. You'll get to be with him from 10 a.m. in the morning to 11 GMT. So you get even more trading support and speed up your learning. And maybe by then we can get him in a West Ham, Arsenal or United shirt. But in all seriousness, that is a total real value of over 10 grand, £10,776 to be precise, from just 997. And that is the breakdown of everything there that you get in the program. So I'll just go over it again really quickly in case it's not clear. You get the crypto like a pro trading system, that's included. You get 6 hours live trading analysis with Andy, who's going to get sick of him because he is the man, the myth, the legend. When it comes to all things trading, he is the guy that you want. 4 weeks live Q&A and coaching. So that's 4 hours spread over 4 weeks. You get all the live training recordings. You get the 3 months access to the VIP group support. You get the beginner bonus program, you get the crypto trade tracker sheet, and you get a complete crypto trading hot list if you sign up. And just so that you know, mark these times down in your diary, but for everybody that signs up, we'll send you this in the group. These are the dates for your live market analysis training on the Saturdays, and these are the dates for the 4 weeks live Q&A and trading support, as you can see. So Saturday, 5th of June, block out your calendar now, 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. and Saturday, the 19th of June, 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. GMT time. So wherever you are around the world, that's GMT time. Thursday, you've got 4 live Q&As. So the first one's on the 27th of May. The next one's on the 3rd of June, 10th of June, and the 24th of June. Some people might say, well, why have you done it on the 27th of May? Because we want to give you enough time to go through the program without stressing. And we find that that's what's going to give you the best results is once you've gone through the program, then you're going to have some questions. You're going to have some experience. You're going to have some context. Hopefully some of the questions that you had, you may have answered yourself. Other ones that you need the support on, then you go to Andy and he'll be able to fast track you through those questions.
Yeah, and if anybody can't make it live, then you can still send in your questions before as well. So that will help. So do you want to post the link for people to go on and if they want to register? Have anybody done that?
Yeah, so for the people that are ready to sign up now, I will post a link. So if you just go through the next page, Andy, and then by that stage, I'll post the link.
Ben or Dan can post it. Yeah, we're here. Do you want to move on?
Yeah.
These are just some of our testimonials.
But I think the important thing is just go back a bit, mate, please. Just to clarify, next slide, this one. So,
this one? Yeah,
and I'll say this because I know you're a bit modest. No, back one. Back one. There you go. So, forward one. This is like Austin Powers. Back one, forward one. So, results guaranteed. And this is Andy. This has taken a lot to get Andy to share this because he is a humble guy. And it's not bragging. It's about inspiring people to see what's really, really possible. And it's not going to happen overnight, although for some people, they've had amazing results over a month. It's your individual journey and your own limiting beliefs and your own emotions that we've all got to battle through. So if you go through his training and you don't believe you can stay committed to learning and applying the techniques, then simply let him know or let the company or any of us know within 30 days of purchase and we'll return 100% of your investment. No questions asked. And do you want to say that last bit, mate? That you, because it's important.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is why we put this here so that we, you know what, to make it risk-free, because I know it's a big commitment for people, even, you know, and for a lot of people, this is a significant investment. So it's really important for us that you feel comfortable and that you do get value. And I'm pretty confident that you will love what you learn. And if you apply it, I'm also extremely confident that you're going to get the results that you need. So yeah, that's kind of really it. And you know, if you see this as what you want to do, this is literally, for me, if it was me on the other side, it's a no-brainer. Like, you're guaranteed to get your money back if you're not happy, and you've seen the results that people are getting. I mean, the results are just off the charts. So it's really a question for you to ask yourself, like, you know, am I committed to make this work? Because the course will work for you if you put the work in. You know, these are just some of our other testimonials. I mean, we've got, you know, if you're new to London Trading Institute, you can go on Trustpilot as well, and just take a look at what other students have been saying about us. This is when we were actually having in-house, they were great when we were doing in-house programs. So these are some of the students. This one was in our Austin Prize building in the city, but we had a few down there.
But just on that note, mate, I just want to say one second very quickly. Look, that review was left April 2019. That was when that was done. And this guy's got a track record of helping people to really accelerate for whatever their goal is. If someone just wants to make a little bit of extra passive income, then that's totally fine. This guy had a goal where he wanted to do it full time. And as you see, he had a 5-figure month in December just before Christmas, and he's on his way to trading 6-figure accounts and going full time. And he's used to doing that and helping people move through their process. So it's entirely down to you how far you want to take this opportunity.
Absolutely. So this is like your decision point, guys. This is down to you. So, you know, you can go back to what you were doing before, or you can take this opportunity right now and join us on this path and, you know, join our community of, you know, really great traders and students that we've created. And it's all about the community. So guys, just to kind of, before we get into the Q&A bit, if you could post the link so that people, because I know it's late for people. So if
It's
anybody
done. Ben did it while I was talking. So thank you.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Ben. So I do appreciate that it's late. So thank you for staying on. And I want to get to everybody's questions, guys. So if you're a student, guys, I know last time people messed up. So if you're ready, one of our students, FX, advanced course, one-to-one coaching, whatever you are doing, you pay tier 1 pricing. Otherwise, if you're not in that category, you pay tier 2. And you can take a monthly payment plan if you need it, but you do save a bit of money if you pay it up in full. So this is kind of it. I'm happy to take to go through some of the questions that people were asking, and looking forward to working with some of you guys, for whoever's joining.
Awesome. Okay, so let's start going through some of the questions then.
Yeah, and just to say thank you to everybody. So if you're, you know, if you are going to drop off, and you know whether you're joining or not, thank you for being here and for taking the time out to listen to us.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Raj Binder Sandhu saying thank you very much for your time and for sharing your personal life. He's more than likely to come onto the program, so we look forward to seeing you, Raj Binder. Going back to some earlier questions, Rafik is saying, what is the right way to use margin?
So that's a big question. Well, the right way is kind of what I was saying, which is essentially in fact, let me just the right way of using margin is to borrow the money to get a position in a cryptocurrency that is in a position where you think it's going to go up, but also it's calculating your kind of worst case scenario and making sure that you're not over leveraging on that worst case scenario. So for example, when we buy spot, it's complicated because obviously it's hard to just explain in one sentence, but when you buy spot, the market has to go to zero for you to be wiped out. Obviously when you buy margin, that's not the case. So it's kind of like identify the point on the chart where it's unlikely that you're going to kind of go below that. So in my mind, to give you something really simple, you know, you could say, well, how likely are we to correct 10% in cryptos, 20%, 30, 40, 50, 60? Now, you might say, well, a 60% correction, very unlikely. A 10% correction, very possible. If you go with margin on a 10% correction and you go all in and 10% wipes out your whole amount, that's very high risk. If you go down to 60, it's low risk. So you've got to find the balance, and you've got to do it specifically for each crypto. For each scenario, it's different, and there's so many different options. You've got your cross and your isolated. So with isolated, it means that your risk is isolated only to one cryptocurrency. So in that case, you know that it's not going to wipe out your whole account, but it could liquidate that position. So you could take a bit more risk in that case. So it's a complicated answer. Sorry if I haven't answered it properly, but it's hard to do it in one, you know, with the time that we've got.
Cool. And then Tiago's saying, is the Crypto Like a Pro program enough to get all the knowledge needed, or would it be important to go through the FX program first? That's a great question that a lot of people do ask. Will I have all the tools needed only with the crypto program in order to succeed with cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, of course, you know, that's why we've added the beginners program, the beginners bit as an extra, so that it can give you at least the groundwork. If you come from an FX background and then go into cryptos, of course that's going to be beneficial. But what has been proven from what I've seen is that complete beginners are able to pick this up. And I think, like, because you're getting a lot of support, you know, if you are somebody that, I'd say yes, from my experience, just to keep the answer simple. I believe that you can absolutely do this as a standalone, even as a complete beginner, because that's what I've experienced with our current students. And if there's any of those students on here, like Tony, for example, I don't know if he's still here, but there's loads of people. If you go in the group guide, you can just ask people in there, but they were complete beginners. Some of them were not, and they are doing extremely well. So yeah, any extra knowledge would be beneficial, but not essential. And it's, if it was me, I'd do the crypto and then do the FX. I'd do it that way. But because I think the crypto right now is the big opportunity. If you can do both, but you can't do both at the same time. You have to focus. So the FX is going to be more stable, easier to grasp in a way, but the crypto is a bit more fast paced, but it's kind of like an intensive learning experience with all the support that you need to get this really quickly in your brain to start making money. That's the whole point of it. And so if it was me, I would do the crypto first. Make money, and then if you want to do FX, then use the money that you've made to pay for the FX.
Awesome. Tiago saying, great answer. Thank you, Andy. So another question from Arturo. Do you know the correlation of the movement of Bitcoin's price and others don't? Sometimes I spend time analyzing a chart and Bitcoin's price ruins everything.
At the moment, it's very strong. If you go into TradingView, you can put a correlation with the crypto that you're trading. There's an indicator, but you can find the correlation. You can look it up, whatever crypto you're trading, look up the correlation with Bitcoin, because it will change over time. So, you know, there will be, at the moment, they are very correlated. So Bitcoin goes down, it drags the market down. Bitcoin goes up, it drags the market up. But that correlation won't be forever. And I actually think that, you know, with alt season potentially coming into play, that won't be the case. So cryptos, the smaller cryptos will probably start to outperform Bitcoin, would be my prediction over the next few months.
Cool. And then Jürgens is saying, what's the recommended study time per week if you're on the program?
That's a good question. What would you say, Gavin? Like, because I mean, it's a different answer for everybody, but like.
So what? Sorry, mate. What I was going to say was we had it a more aggressive schedule. The first one we did was really the test pilot version. We had a more aggressive schedule, and we did the first live really quickly, and everybody was going through the modules. You'll find that the modules are actually quite straightforward to go through. It's the application, and it's just going over it again and going over it again and going over stuff at your own time. It depends. Yeah. There is no race. The cryptos, yes, there's a finite period of when the cryptos are in this bull run, but there's no race for you and your individual journey. It's really easy to start comparing yourself to everyone else. And pretty much everybody in the group has done it at some stage. And that's not really a game that you want to play. You just want to play your own game. And you're in it for the long run. You want to learn how to do this properly. And if it takes you a bit longer than other people, so be it. If you get it quicker, like other people have, then that's great as well. There is no right or wrong to it. With regards to your actual question on recommended study time, that's why we've put the dates that we have. So if you look now, the first live is almost a month from now. So that is a very realistic time frame for you to go through the program.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the, I was just trying to find those live dates, but yeah, I mean, and again, like, I think it depends on the individual. I kind of like to immerse myself. Who asked the question so I can actually address who I'm speaking to?
That's a good question, because more questions are coming in and there's only a certain amount that I can see on the screen.
Oh, fair
It
enough. Well,
was Jürgen's
whoever asked. Oh, yeah.
Kuzujeki.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jurgen Klopp, mate. I was going to get excited.
Only when he sees you in a West Ham shirt. So yeah, Jürgen's saying, look, thanks. It was more to do with planning around work schedules.
No, you don't need to worry about that. You can make that work. I mean, yes, it'd be great if you can attend the lives. If you can attend the lives, I'd really, it would be great to have you on the lives. But other than that, you can do like an hour a day, or you can go like crazy intensive and do it all in, immersive, and do as many hours. I mean, we had a mixed bag of people, but yeah, I'm crazy. So I would just be, every spare moment, I'd be immersing myself to get that knowledge, and then start to try and use it and start to ask my questions. That's just how I work. I work better that way. And actually, it's been quite proven that if you kind of put it a bit more intensive, you pick it up. But everybody's different, right? So you have to kind of work with your own skill set and personality. It's really important.
Awesome. So Anita's saying, super keen to register and get started. Thanks, Andy and Gavin. You're very welcome, Anita. Lee Harper is saying, that's me signed up. Thanks for having me. Can't wait to start learning. Delia is saying, after signing up, do we start with one-to-one coaching? I don't understand the question, Delia. So if you want to confirm that. So as you can see in the schedule here, the first live is going to be the Q&A on the 27th of May. So that's the first time that you'll have a live, but you will have the private Crypto Elite Traders Club group. So you can ask your questions in there. You'll be getting support from Andy in there and the rest of the alumni and the students. Svetlana is saying, what is the best time of the day for trading? I mean, when is the market the most active?
Do you know what? It's actually active most times, but I must say that the London session, which we call like 7 a.m. in the morning, 6:30, 7 a.m. UK time, I start to see the volatility increase. So that's just something that I've picked up on, which is the standard thing in FX, but there is obviously a lot of activity during the London session. But the good thing with cryptos is that it's literally volatile every single minute of the day. Like, I could open up the charts now and then I'm sure there's some craziness going on in the markets. So that's the great thing, is there's opportunities all the time. And part of what we teach you to do is to be organized, to use notifications and alerts so that you never miss your opportunity. So no matter what time, what you're doing, there'll be plenty of time to take your trade, and you don't have to sit there staring at your screen unless you want a day trade, which we can, which we go through as well.
Cool, thanks for that, mate. And Petra's saying, what amount should be kept in free margin to buy the dips? And what is the best currency to keep it in, USDT or BUSD?
Good question. So here's what I do. So the spot I don't touch. I literally, what I personally do is I would prefer to, because the ones that the cryptos that get affected the most with Bitcoin are the stable coins. They kind of like follow generally what Bitcoin does. So I would just lighten up on the stable coins if I thought Bitcoin was going to pull back. But I keep my sort of smaller coins, I don't touch them, because those cryptos, the ones that are like low market cap, you lighten up 1 or 2 days and you literally could miss a triple or double very quickly. So I don't touch those, and I don't touch my spot. But anything else that's quite correlated to Bitcoin, I will lighten up or go all cash. And I normally will go to Tether personally. But yeah, you could go to BUSD if you want. It doesn't really, I don't think it makes a big difference, but I just go to Tether.
Cool. And then that ties in with a question from Dean Shorter, who's saying, what are your predictions on how long Bitcoin dominance will remain in decline? It looks like alt season's really starting to take off.
Sorry, mate. Could you repeat that? My brain is starting to get tired. Could you repeat that, mate?
Yeah, Andy's not you're normally a really early starter, aren't you? So now what's the time for you guys?
I've been up since 4 o'clock, mate. And it's 10:30 now.
Okay, cool. So what are your predictions on how long Bitcoin dominance will remain in decline? It looks like the altcoin seasons are really starting to take off.
How long Bitcoin's going to remain in decline?
Yeah, what's your prediction?
Well, I think my prediction is if this does pull back, that it pulls back to where I showed on the screen earlier, which is around the sort of anywhere between sort of 38 and 44,000. I think is a good buying opportunity for Bitcoin. So if you haven't bought Bitcoin and you want to own some, if it enters that price zone, I would be buying it. Even if I believe that it's going to underperform the alts, Bitcoin is the king. So if you don't own any and you want to own some, or you've been waiting for a pullback, that's where I'd be looking. And it's definitely worth having some in your portfolio.
Another question from Jeff Warren says, where can you find all the info on different cryptocurrencies?
So if you can go to CoinMarketCap, and that will give you the list by market cap of all the top, whatever cryptos.
Awesome. Andrew saying he's interested. Please send the link. Ben's just reposted it, Andrew. So if you go into the chat, but we can also send it to you as well. So if Ben's still watching, if you can send it directly to Andrew McAlpine, that would be great. And also congratulations to Delia, who's just signed up as well. Great to have you with us. Another question coming in from Zachariah McCullen. I have a question. Is there a good website to learn about the technical indicator tools? And that ties into another question, which if you can kind of embellish, what's the difference in technicals between FX and crypto?
Well, I mean, tools are just tools. But because the markets work differently, like your strategies are going to be different. So you need different tools. So like, as I was kind of saying earlier, when you look at the FX markets, you're normally looking at like your fake outs, like manipulation. It's more rangy. It's like, economies don't tend to like currencies fluctuating too much, so they tend to stay in these ranges. Whereas with crypto, it's very much like breakout, momentum, volatility. So the kind of tools that we need to use are different. And, depending on your strategy, if you're day trading, you want to use like, momentum tools. If you're accumulating, you want to use things like your VWAPs and other tools that we use to identify value, so that you can accumulate at good prices. So really, it's because the markets move differently, you have to use different tools. So, yeah, I don't really, I mean, my brain's not working now to give you a better analogy, or an analogy, but, you know, like a surgeon doesn't use the same tools as a dentist, but they're both classed as doctors, right? So, you know, this is one market, this is a different market. So I have to use what is working in this market. So, you know, that's kind of really it really, and all of the tools that, if you want to, you know, there's so many indicators you can use, but it's not about the indicators. It's about the process. It's about the support that you need to be surrounded by people, and the structure. But any indicator you want, you can find it on TradingView. There's too many on there, if I'm honest. But it's about learning how to combine them, and don't put your focus on that. That's the wrong focus. If that's what you're thinking about, it's not right. That's why I openly share, you know, what I'm using, but it's about how you use it and how you cohesively put it together.
Cool. And then Herman Bell is saying, can you pay in installments? What if you're working in day live sessions? So if you're working during the day for the live sessions, I think you mean, so you get a recording, you'll get the recording a few hours later after it's concluded. They'll be uploaded into your program or into the group. With regards to the installments, yes, you can. If you're a current student of the London Trading Institute, then you can pay 3 monthly payments of £397, so just £397 a month. If you're a member of, if you've come to us through being a member of the Crypto and FX Traders Club, the Facebook group, the free Facebook group, then we also give you a discount. So it's either a one-time price of £1,297, or in your case, as you're asking for the monthly payments, it's 3 monthly payments of £497.
Yeah, and if you, I mean, yeah, I mean, don't worry, especially like if you can't attend the live analysis, you know, that's not a Q&A. So even if you watch it after work, I would just watch it as soon as possible, because the aim of those 2 sessions is to identify trading opportunities. So what we recommend our students do, like, you know, it's up to you completely, but I'm going to be finding trade setups that I'm going to be taking personally, putting my money on the line to do. So if you understand the trades and you like them, you can do the same. And a lot of people on our last program actually paid for their course off the back of those sessions, and we'd like to do the same for you guys. So that's why I wouldn't watch it 3 days later. I'd watch it as soon as possible after those sessions happen. The Q&As, doesn't matter if you can't attend live. It's great if you can, but you can always just send in your questions ahead of time. And you'll always have, you know, you have the group as well for 3 months. So, you know, you've got plenty of time to ask your questions and get that support.
So Antonio's just signed up. Congratulations, Antonio. Gareth's got a question. Is it easier as a beginner to make money in cryptos compared to FX?
I have to say yes at the moment, but maybe like for a beginner, I'd definitely say yes, because it's a bit more of a pure market, and volatility is high. So if you kind of marry the idea of volatility with actually you can stand out like as being one of the professional traders very quickly, because most of the market is not being that. Whereas when you go to the FX markets, you've got lots of professionals that have been making money, institutions. Now, I'm not saying crypto doesn't have institutional trading. It does now. Lots of institutions are getting involved in Bitcoin and Ethereum, but the alts, for example, are still quite untouched on the whole. So it's quite a pure market. So for me, as a beginner, that's why I say do the crypto course first. If you were still interested in FX, do the crypto course, make your money, and then you can go to a stable market like FX, which is always going to be there, but you could make life-changing money in the next sort of, couple of years doing this.
Cool. And that touched on a question that Daniil had from earlier about the institutions being involved with the cryptos. Another question from them: are the strategies clearly rule-based with clear rules for entries and exits?
Yeah, absolutely. But the idea is that, what we don't want to do is we don't want to sort of box you with one, because your time frame is going to be unique. So you need to customize everything. So we're going to give you all the tools, but you still need to customize, what time frames you're looking at, how long you want to hold onto something, and your strategy. So we'll give you everything that you need, but ultimately you still got to have your individual trade plan, and that goes for everybody, whatever market you're trading. It's the same approach, but you'll have the knowledge and the support to make sure that we help you build that.
Awesome. And then just a couple more questions. Is there a good tutorial on Binance anywhere? So we're going to be adding more. So Andy's going to be drilling down and adding more content and videos specifically for Binance. It is a bit of a jigsaw puzzle for a lot of people, but even you go to Binance's channels on YouTube and the stuff that they're putting themselves, they don't seem to know what they're doing, do they? So
no, there is some stuff floating around on the internet like that Binance have done, like some masterclass. But yeah, I've done quite a lot of videos in the course. But what we'll do is, if there's questions that keep popping up, we'll add to it. So, one thing we didn't even add, to be honest, which is important, is that, we'll always be updating our programs. It's just the way we always do things. So, all of the updates are going to be included. So anything new that I'm adding based on your struggles or questions or updates or anything new that I'm doing, I'm going to be adding that in the course. So there are plans to add 1 or 2 videos already because of some of the questions that we've had from our students. So that will be updated probably in the next week or so.
Raj is saying it would be great if there was a blended option where they can do online and attend the London training office. Is there a possibility of face-to-face mentoring?
Unfortunately, not at the moment. It's not something that we're offering. Yes, I agree. It's great, and we enjoy it as well, meeting people face-to-face. But we kind of made a collective decision that for the time being, we're going to continue to work the way we are, which is online. But it's something that could happen in the future. There is the possibility of doing some in-house training at some point. You could always do that later if you need to. But I think the world is kind of moving now, and I know face-to-face there's something different about it, but you can really, I guess again, it's just like don't kind of be put off by online. You can absolutely get the result. Remember, the results are the most important thing. So you can definitely get the results by doing it online. And then, obviously, if you need that in-house touching point, I know some people do, then there may be something we can do.
And then the last question, I think, from what I can see, do you use any other exchanges?
Yes, I do. I use Bittrex. I use KuCoin. And Uniswap. Right. Are we going to wrap up? Because I think I might fall asleep. Anybody got any other questions? We're going to send you. So Ben's going to have the lovely task of going through all the people that have stayed until the end, and we're going to send you a video breakdown of that. I'm going to record that for you and send it to you tomorrow of the crypto.
Yeah, so we've had a few questions about that. So we'll make sure that we get that out to you guys. So just to clarify, if you just want to go through that page again.
Which page?
With the breakdown, just to make it crystal clear for everybody that's still here. So thank you, everybody that's still here. Just need to take some water.
If I can find the page. Well, this page.
No, if you scroll up to the offer page, yeah, that one. So just to clarify, this is everything that you get in the system, but the 6 hours live trading analysis on the Saturdays and the 4 weeks Q&A, that's only an offer for 48 hours. So by all means, it's a big choice. Have a think about things, but we just want to stress that because people come afterwards and say, oh, I didn't realize it was only 48 hours. It will definitely be 48 hours. We're going to be very serious about it this time. So if you want the full package, so total £10,776 worth of value, it's either going to be 997 or 1297. We'll honor that, but that's only going to be valid for the next 48 hours. So I just want to stress that, guys. Otherwise, it's going to be a mixture of price going up and or only 1 3-hour live session and 2 weekly Q&As, which is still great. It's going to be good. It's going to be good, but this is the point. If you can get something better, then why not do that? And you're in a position to take action now, then fantastic. We'd love for you to be our next success story. So Andrew's saying, is that 40 hours from now or midnight? Is 48 hours from now. So what is the time? 10:46. 10:46 exactly. GMT.
Well, I'm gonna make the marketing guys stay up until 10:46 to take the page down.
Great stuff. A lot of people saying that they're going to sleep on it. They're going to be signing up tomorrow. Obviously, if you've got any more questions, just let us know. Also, just go and click on the link that Ben's posted again, and you can also just go through it in your own time. Just make sure that it's right for you, and we'd love to have you. And remember, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. You just get your money back, no questions asked. Svetlana is saying, thank you, Andy and Gavin. You've clarified a lot for myself. You're very welcome. So if that's everything, then we are going to love you and leave you guys. And we look forward to seeing you coming into the Elite Crypto Traders Club over the next 48 hours. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, guys. Gavin, you look extremely nice this evening. Best I've ever seen you.
Some would say it's an improvement, definitely.
Absolutely, mate. Very plain, but I like it. Take care, everybody. Thank you for being here until the end. And good night.